Everything is perfect, all is well, all is well, all is well.
All is well, all is well. Everything is perfect, all is well, all is well, all is well.
When I wake to start the day, this everyone, all is well, all is well, all is well. All is well, all is well. Everything is perfect, all is well, all is well, all is well. Yeah. All is well, all is well. Feeling it? Ooh, sha-la-la-la-la-la. All is well, all is well. And when it's my time to go, I'll be thankful that I know all is well, all is well, all is well. And when I lay down in my bed, I remember what I said. All is well, all is well, all is well. All is well, all is well. Everything is perfect, all is well, all is well. All is well, all is well, all is well. Everything is perfect, all is well, all is well, all is well.
What a beautiful song.
All is well.
Song by Shauna Carroll.
Jeremy and Amy, yay.
Before we do anything, I'm just going to remove this for just 2 seconds so you can look at our lovely, lovely trees that came up yesterday. And I know Melissa's online and Yana's somewhere over there, but we snuck in here yesterday and we did all this. And Yana, there she is, give it up, and Melissa. So we had 3 elves to bring in the season for us. So it looks great, yeah? Yeah. There you go.
Never too many Christmas trees.
Okay, let me just put it down.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
just check my Facebook and you'll see how many I have on it.
And Santa Claus is coming to town, too.
There you
Right, Patrick?
go. Oh, he is. Rumor has it.
All right. So welcome, everyone. It's so good to see you all here today and to recognize the beautiful, amazing beings of light that you are. I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you to everybody online. Oh, just taking a deep breath and recognizing that we practice this beautiful thing called science of mind and spirit, which is just an ancient knowing that the presence and power of God, of light, of love, of source, whatever you want to call it, is right where we are. We are powerful, and we get to use this power in any way that we choose. And we are at choice in every single solitary moment to approach our lives from that highest place. So that's what we're doing here today, approaching life from the highest place. So thank you. Thank you for being here, all of you. It's good to see you two, too.
Yeah.
Charlie and Jeanette.
So I'm looking around to see if I see any new faces, but you all look brand new to me today. You look brand new, yeah, there you go. And I know there's probably online some new people as well. But I think we got to remember who we are today, don't you think? I think we should remember that there is something that we need to oh, there is a new person online. We have the two-way now. It's beautiful. And love your pajamas. They look fabulous. But anyway, what we want to know is that something's happening here. What do we know? We know that, and Ruth just walked in, so let's know her. What do we know? You are magnificent!
Woo!
That's the only way to walk into a door as far as I'm concerned. And we know that about Ruth, and we know about the people that are watching us. And hi, Sherry and Tom. I see you out there too. And Carrie and Michael. Wow. Okay, so we want to let you all know something, but we know it about ourselves first. That's how we can call you magnificent, is because we see that and know that in ourselves. So shall we do it together? I am magnificent. Oh, and just don't keep it locked in your heart. Give it to somebody next to you or someone around you. Or look at Jonathan. He's sitting there ready for some magnificence. Let him know who it is.
Praying it.
Oh, yeah. There we go. You're magnificent. You too. Oh my gosh. Do I need to say there's Jack? And there it is. And so why don't we just start out with a magnificent opening number, yeah?
All right. In the spirit of being thankful, this is
Yes.
an original tune called Life as We Know It. Hope you guys enjoy this one.
Just remind them. What? That you're praying. I don't know if you stand up.
Giving thanks for the life as we know it. The life as we know it. Yeah. When the sun shines upon the mountainside, we're feeling love and we feel it deep inside. We're giving thanks for the life as we know it. Life as we know it. Yeah. And when the moon rises over the ocean, shining her light upon the waves in motion of my mama sea, she's calling out to me. Of my mama sea, she's calling out to me. And we're giving thanks for the life as we know it. We're giving thanks 'cause we're living in the flow. We're giving thanks for the life as we know it. The life as we know it, yeah. When the cold wind blows the rain into your living room, and everyone around you is just giving you some attitude. You're feeling so low down, man, you just can't find no gratitude. Well, that's the time when you're gonna find that I will be right here for you. I'm here holding space for you, my friend. My love for you will never end. We're gonna climb this mountain, yeah, we'll do it all again. Life's about the journey, yeah, we're living in the destination. 'Cause we're giving thanks for the life as we know it. Life as we know it, yeah. For the life as we know it, yeah.
And as we take this beautiful, beautiful, magical mystery tour that they have taken us on, what I know for each and every one of us that have come here today in this moment is that something wonderful is happening. Something grand is happening. Mama has called, and we're answering. There's a divine call that has been made, and each and every one of us allow our hearts that are so filled with gratitude, so filled with love, so filled with everything that any attitude that seems to step in our living room of our hearts, we say, mahalo, but adios. And I thought we would get a little bilingual today. So what I know from this deepest part of myself is that laughter, tears, all of the emotions, all the feelings, they are the feelings of good God. I get away from any separation in this moment and allow it to just permeate this incredible sacred space that has been created by each and every one of us. And it continues to be created from moment to moment to moment to moment. This is the day. This is the moment that I hear the calling. This is the moment that I listen to the calling. This is the moment that I act from that calling. There is no more looking. The search is over. Good God life has appeared and made itself known to each and every one of us right here, right now. Hold your heart if you dare and listen to that beautiful, beautiful message that says, I am, I am, I am. Let's celebrate the I am that I am. And with that, I am truly grateful. And I just release my word, knowing that it will not return to me void. It cannot return to me void, for it is the word of good, the word of God. Call it whatever you want. It needs no name, because it is all names. And with that, I am so grateful, and I release it. Get out of the way, and let it be so. As together we breathe in and breathe out, and so it is.
Woo.
Just marinate in that for a moment.
Thank you, Patrick. That was beautiful. Okay. So just to take us even deeper, Dr. Peggy, come on up.
And let's see if we can find our way through the trees. And
So Dr. Peggy's going to lead us in our affirmation the last time this month.
Last time?
Yeah, and then we'll do our peace candle, all right? So
Yes.
go for it.
Oh, this is a good one. I got to do that the first time this month and the last time this month. Wow. I love affirmations. So join with me as I... Oh, thank you. That's very helpful.
I'm here for you, Dr.
My
Peggy.
teachers always said my voice carried in the library, but... You know. So as we conclude this Thanksgiving weekend, we do give thanks for the abundance in our lives, and this affirmation says it so well. So say it after I say it once. We'll say it together 3 times. My life is filled with an unlimited abundance of good.
My life is filled with an unlimited abundance of good.
My life is filled with an unlimited abundance of good. My life is filled with an unlimited abundance of good.
Thank you. Let's just take that beautiful knowing that our lives are filled with an abundance of good and just take it within to that place of peace, that place of calm, that place of knowing. And let's just resonate right there for this moment, letting it move out into the world. Now, Dr. Peggy will take us even deeper into contemplation.
And so we move into that space with this seed thought from Mark Twain, who says, "If you want love and abundance, give it away. If you want love and abundance, give it away." If you want love and abundance, give it away. This is an abundant universe. This is a universe of pure love, a unified field of pure love, pure wisdom, pure intelligence, pure wholeness, source of all life, source of all that is, continually expressing in and through and as each one of us. I am part of that, as we all are part of this unified field of energy, of source of life. We are all threads in this woven tapestry that is eternal and continually unfolding. We are all part of something so much greater than ourselves, and that greatness indwells each of us. We are greatness. We are part of that fabric of life. And so wherever we are in our life today, in this very moment right now, that abundance and that love that Mark Twain speaks of is within us as we continue to follow that eternal givingness of God to our own generosity of spirit. And today, as we reflect on Thanksgiving, on our gratefulness, as we reflect upon the coming of this metaphorical Christ child within each of us, as we prepare for that, we open to that greater good and that greater givingness and that greater generosity. And we know that we always have more than enough, that God is our sufficiency unto this day, each and every day, that we know that we are filled with that radiant light of wholeness and wellness and health, and that the very energy that we are is an energy that is filled with the divine. And we know that the creative spark, the creative spirit, provides us with those divine ideas that become spiritual coin, that allow us to flourish and be fulfilled in our daily lives. And we live always in that divine relationship of unconditional, pure love. That is who we are. That is who we have always been and will always be. And so we give it away freely, as we know that there is this expression of life that is calling for that love everywhere we look. And so with gratitude for this beautiful day, with gratitude for this life we live, we give thanks together in agreement, and we join together as I release this word into that love and law of the one. And we say together, so it is.
Perfection of grace, I am. Perfection of I am. Perfection of grace.
so much love in this room today. I felt it from the moment I walked in. So thank you for bringing your love here and for tuning it into the one love. Thank you. Thank you. That's beautiful. I love your music because it's always like right on. It's always like right on with what we're talking about. So I really appreciate that. Because I loved when you said Life as We Know It. Was that the first song? Life as We Know It? Because it's kind of what I want to talk about today. So our topic is Easy Street. I was going to sing the song from Annie, but I decided not to. So everybody remember that, if anybody. Yeah, Easy Street. Yeah. Okay, I won't go there. I promise. Okay, so I want to start, as I always love to start. Well, first of all, I wanted to talk about, there was a gentleman, a judge, his name is Judge Thomas Troward. And according to Ernest Holmes, he was responsible for 25% of the things that we teach. And he was really responsible for Ernest Holmes' understanding of the law of our being and what that means to, and how irrevocable it is and how intrinsic it is within us and all of that. But he also, Thomas Troward said, and I don't have the exact quote, but he said something like that our major goal, like if we had a goal in life, is to be happy. That we're supposed to be happy. And if you look back at different philosophers and mystics of throughout all times, I mean, they said things like man is that he might have joy. We're supposed to be happy. And sometimes, but what is happy? Like happy doesn't, for me, happy is more than just a smile on my face. Happy is like an inward like satisfaction, an inward peace, an inward calm about life, no matter what is happening. And I think for me, that's what happiness is, because I think if I think about it more in a superficial way, there's times when I'm not happy. Something goes wrong, or what I perceive as wrong, or something isn't going the way I think it should go, or something, and then I come into this idea that I'm not happy. But in reality, happiness isn't based on outside conditions. It's based on a inward feeling of being okay, that life as we know it is fine no matter what is going on, that we are up for it. So Ernest Holmes wrote that, and if you don't know who he is online, I think everybody here by now knows who he is, but I like to think that he is a mystic, and he is a mystic, an amazing author who wrote over 27 books, maybe more than that, founded the Science of Mind magazine, and wrote the famous book that we base a lot of our classes and teaching on. Anyway, in the Science of Mind, in the very first beginning of it, he said, "We see the abundance in the universe. We cannot count the grains of sand on the single beach. The earth contains untold riches, and the very air is vibrant with power. Why then is man weak, poor, and afraid?" The Science of Mind deals with these questions. That's how he starts the book. That's what we deal with every day, is if this is so, then why is this other thing happening? And then he answers his own question and says, the divine plan is one of freedom. Bondage is not God ordained. Freedom is the birthright of every living soul, and all instinctively feel this. Do you feel this instinctive, whatever you want to call it? I don't like the word instinctive, but more intuition in yourself that you're free? That you're free, not free necessarily in the world of form, but you're free within yourself to experience life any way that you choose to experience it, no matter what is going on. And to me, that is what I would claim as easy street. Is that knowing that easy street doesn't mean that life is easy all the time and I'm smiling and dancing through life, but that I have this inner calm and this inner peace, so that whenever I have to confront something, whatever it is, whatever challenge that I consider a challenge in my life, or I'm working with someone else or my family, that I can know that I have all the answers within me. I can know that power and presence is right where I am, and that I'm always a choice to look at anything that's happening with the eyes coming from that place, instead of the eyes of judgment and the eyes of indecision, the eyes of that something has to be wrong. And so it's all about changing my consciousness surrounding. Does that mean that I'm blind to what's going on? No, I'm looking at what's going on and I'm knowing something different about it. I'm trying my best to excavate the good behind it, to let go of my stranglehold on thinking things have to be the way I think they should be. And especially when it comes to other people, that's why I love that thing about the attitude. Whatever it was she said, when it comes to other people, that I have to control them or have them be the way I want them to be, you know, that I can just, I think it's really important these days to, with everything going on in the world and everything even, is to be able to sit down and try to understand. Try to understand. My son said something really beautiful to me on Thanksgiving. And I looked at my kids this Thanksgiving because we did a Zoom thing. And I went, wow, they're really good people. You know, they have their issues and their problems. Like everybody has something, but they're really good people. It made me feel so good to know that they were good, loving people. It really made me feel good. Well, my son said, Mom, he goes, you know, just like we felt back when this happened, I'm trying not to be political, but just how we felt, if we felt, you know, torn or sad or lost, he said, there's people feeling that way now. And whatever side of the fence you want to consider yourself on, we're all feeling what we feel in the situation of our world, of our country right now, and the way we think things should go. But this is my prayer every day, is that we can do our best to understand, because I believe that we all want love, we all want peace, we all want to be understood, we all, deep down within us, we all want to have people be compassionate toward us, we all want to be heard. That's a big thing these days. And sometimes when people feel like they're not heard, what do? They lash out, right? Because they're not being heard. So to be able to be heard, to be loved, to have compassion for, all of these things have no political value to them at all. They're just what we are as human beings, what we need, what we want. So I feel that is what we're looking for right now. And what we can each give a part to that. We can each be that. We can each do our best to be calm and take a breath before we say something, to remember that that everything isn't always what it looks like. There's something else happening. So I believe Easy Street is about living life in the flow of life, not trying to control the flow, but to realize that you are the flow, and you get to direct the flow and ride with it, but you're not pushing against it and trying to swim upstream and not being conscious of what's really actually in front of you, you know? So it's being in the flow and being able to twist and turn and bend if you have to, and just not break, but bend and have just more ease with life. Life gets tough because I think we don't accept what is, and it doesn't mean we don't want to change things, because we do sometimes, but we're not fighting so hard. If we come back to ourselves all the time, then it makes making the change easier. So for me, like living a life in the flow, I just wrote down some things for me that work, and that is being in gratitude. We just did this 21 days of gratitude, but boy, I mean, it really makes a difference when you can wake up in the morning and be grateful for something. Even like, you know, Brene Brown says, you know, if you have the, what's it called? Foreboding joy. Yeah, foreboding joy, or we think something's going to happen and we can't, if that happens to us, just take a deep breath and just be grateful for what is. Oh my God, there's so much to be grateful for, right? Do you feel it? I feel it. I feel it so much. Thank you. And then releasing the past, like, this is the biggest one. I mean, it's like, okay, you made a mistake, or you did something at the time that you thought was right, or that you were acting from the consciousness that you had at the time, And maybe it wasn't even a mistake. Maybe it was just your good heart that was just trying to do its best in that moment, or you were resisting something. It could be a million reasons. But if we keep going back to the past and reliving that thing, then how can we do anything? We can't change what happened back then. So, I mean, I'm talking to myself right now. We can't change what happened back then. All we can do is come into the present and start where we are. It really is simple. I mean, Ernest Holmes says we make a riddle out of simplicity. I think it really is simple. I don't know why sometimes it's so hard to do, but just because we make it hard to do doesn't mean that it isn't simple. It just means we're stubborn. So, well,
Wiser today than you were then.
right, we're wiser. That's the thing. If you can turn those things into wisdom, that's what we're supposed to do. Turn our past and all of that into wisdom. And wow, when we do that, whew, that's powerful. So the other thing is trust, like trusting that maybe behind everything, there is something bigger going on. There is something greater going on that we might not see in the moment. And even in our pain and our suffering, if we can fall into that, it's called grace, I think. Just fall into that trusting, to know that there is a bottom to all of it. There is something holding us that's greater than what's occurring. And we've needed a lot of that these days, and I feel like we've done really well, and we should really pat ourselves on the back and give ourselves a big hug and say, you know what, this has not been an easy time for many of us, and we've done really, really well because we have trusted it. And then taking action, not just talking about it, but actually moving with that trust, moving with whatever it is our intention to actually move and do something. We have that saying, treat and move your feet. You know, it's not enough to sit down and just say, you know, I know that, and then not take any action. So taking action and then surrendering. When all else fails, surrender. Now, does that mean like we're compromising? No, it just means we're letting go. And we're just saying, oh, there is something bigger happening, and I trust it, and I have faith in it, and you know what? I'm just going to let go now, and I'm going to stop trying to make this happen. I'm going to stop trying to make it different than it is. I'm just going to live in love, and I'm just going to surrender and know that I've gone as far as I can go, and that there's a universal power and energy that's bigger than I am, greater than I am, that I'm using, that is going to take me the rest of the way. I do that a lot because sometimes I can be trying so hard to get something done that my little self is trying to get it done, and I'm just pushing myself and just saying, instead of saying, you know what, I've done my part. Universe, now you take it. And it always does. The universe does step in because it's us. We are the universe, right? So, and then, you know, I've got many others, and I don't want to talk forever, but affirmative prayer always works. It works. I'm going to just tell you that when we do a spiritual mind treatment, and it's coming from not begging, not beseeching, not hoping, but when we're actually believing and feeling the end result of our treatment, feeling the end result of that health, feeling the end result of that abundance, feeling the end result, it shows up. It shows up, and it might only show up in little ways. We call it like signs of land. But if we can acknowledge those little things that show up and just go, wow, something showed up today. Today somebody said something to me, and it really comforted me. That's treatment showing up. Something, you know, somebody smiled at me, somebody, you know, took me out to lunch, somebody did this, somebody did that, whatever it is. I felt a little better. It's treatment working, because as we speak our word into this power, this energy, and we put it out with feeling, and this is not just Ernest Holmes, you know, all the mystics now are saying the same thing. It's the intention that sends it out and the feeling that brings it back. So what are we feeling? What are we feeling all day long? Look at that, because at the end of the day, just sit with yourself and go, how did I really spend my time today? What was I really feeling? So if something's not working in your life, you might realize that you've been focused on the other thing instead of the actually what you wanted, the intention. Loya's laughing over there. She's getting something out of this. So with COVID-19, and I swore I'd never talk about it, but again, but but it's still here, guys, and it's still here until we decide that it's not here anymore. And there's a lot of things that are happening now that's going to make that possible. But the biggest thing that's going to make it possible is when we let go of anger and division, because I really believe that that's what's holding it in place. So I saw, who watched the Macy's Day Parade? Anybody? Okay. I got up at, I got up at 4 o'clock. We got up at 4 o'clock in the morning we get up at 4 a lot, so it wasn't a big a deal. And they were streaming it, on, because we don't have cable TV, but we do have like Netflix and things like that. So we had YouTube, and they were streaming it on that. And what I got out of that, I don't know whether you think about it. I grew up in New York, and the Macy's Parade was a big deal to me when I was a little girl, and I took my kids, made them watch it every Thanksgiving, even if they didn't want to, because it was a tradition. And apparently this year there was a doubt of whether it was going to happen or not because of COVID-19, and but I don't know what shifted it, but because I didn't read about it, but what I saw was the outcome of it, and what happened was they did it because they had an intention to keep that tradition that brought joy to so many people. I don't know all the financial reasons they did it, and I don't really care about the advertising and all the powers that be and all of that. All I care about is the expression on my face when I saw Santa Claus come in on that sleigh at the end, and how much that meant to me. But they did it. Now, they would not have been able to do it. It's kind of like when we opened this center, and back after we were put into lockdown, that we said, we're not going to come back until we can have it this way and that way, and we're all dancing up and down, and da-da-da-da. But we said, no, we really want to be back together. And they said, no, we want to have the Macy's Day Parade. And they followed their protocol, and they did what they had to do, and they made those little adjustments that they had to make. And they did it because the intention, the love that I felt coming out of that parade that day, all those workers that were there, those volunteers and the policemen and all of it to make it happen, and the people holding the floats, and I went, they did this. They were dancing with their masks on. And I was like, oh my God. I said they did it because they did what they had to do in the circumstances to have their vision come forward. So I think that's huge. And I think that we can get stuck on wanting it our way. And we do live in a 3D universe, even though we, as religious scientists, live in a 5-dimension universe. I live in a 5-dimensional universe, but I also realize that I walk in a 3D world, and that I am subject to that 3D world as much as I choose to be. And there's certain things I have to do, and other things I know about myself. And that's how I'm getting through this. I have a higher knowing, but I also know that, as Jesus said, give unto Caesar what is Caesar's and give unto God what is God's. And I believe in that. So I saw that in the Macy's Day Parade. And if love is carrying us through, then if we can let go, like I said, of all the anger, all of that, and just live in the love and follow our intention and make the little adjustments we have to make. We're not sheep, I get that, but to make those little adjustments and live in the love, I really believe that we will release this whole thing. I mean, I feel it coming. And on some plane, it's already been released. So I will read you this in closing. Which one do I want to read? I want to read the Irish prayer for you. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. The rains fall soft upon your fields until we meet again. May God hold you in the palm of his hand. And I know that power and presence is holding us right here and right now within us. So thank you. Happy Thanksgiving. Aloha. Now I'll hand you over to these two angels.
Thanks, Reverend Rita.
You're welcome.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
So I'm going to share a song with you guys that I wrote recently. It's called Piece of Time. I hope you guys enjoy this one. time to find me some peace of mind to try to get this song down on the paper. Yeah, I'll be thinking of you as the memories come pouring through like sunlight shining down upon this table. Fruits that we did enjoy, raising up a girl and boy and singing by the fire with our people. Teaching right from wrong, simple kinds of thoughts and songs. We set our sights upon the brightest future. Journey to the distant shores, finding love is so much more. It ain't hard to write this story, but of all the memories, and in every song I sing, deeper than the ocean's glory, it's a whisper, it's a feeling, it's your laughter and your healing, it's the trusting, it's the growing, the forgiving, 'cause we're knowing. For a piece of time to find me some peace of mind and try to get this song down on the paper. Yeah, I'll be thinking of you as the memories come pouring through like sunlight shining down upon this table. Thanks, you guys. You're the first one to hear that song. Thanks for listening.
It's original.
That was an original tune.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank
Wow.
you.
Thank you. That was a debut on Earth.
Yes. A debut in the 3D and the fifth
Yep.
dimension. Wow, thank you. I love it when you bring your original stuff here because we always feel like it's your birthing station that you get to, and we get to give you and love you up while you guys
sure.
do that. So that's beautiful. Oh, what more could I say? Ditto, ditto. I knew you'd say it for me, so there was no reason. Last week, does everybody remember the Eye of the Tiger last week? It had a very profound effect for me in my life, because what I thought to it was the first time, which is interesting, I thought, if no one really got that talk, I did. So I really did it for me. And because all week I kept thinking to myself, that's what, and just to remember, we'll just do a little quote from him, that was Jeff Griffin, the ability to reach out to the future, grab onto your dreams, and bring it back to the present in spite of your past. And that's what we've been talking about thus far through the music, the gentle whisper of that inner voice that has something to say. So the Easy Street definition, I remember my parents used to talk a lot. Yeah, they're on Easy Street. One of these days we're going to be on Easy Street. They didn't actually talk like that, but that was my interpretation of how I grew up. But they did not. They did not talk like that or that. So the definition was a situation. It's a situation with no worries. State of financial comfort or security. I know that a lot of people think they got it made. They don't ever have to worry about anything. They've got all the money in the world. We already know that that is not true, that you have all the money in the world, but that also is no excuse not to have it. So I always think to myself, my definition is not that there are, here we go. I got new glasses, everyone, because this makes me look intelligent. Yeah. At least to me. My definition is not that there are not any problems, but that I meet them with ease, grace, and effortlessness. And because I'm already given up that whole idea that nothing is going to, not shake my world anymore. And this week we had a little time off. Rita and I are attempting of it. We did actually pretty well. But here's the deal. I had it all micromanaged, how I was going to continue writing more on my book and wake up in the morning and do my run and do all that. And none of that really happened because something else came in. And this isn't as, a sauna pity party, but I'm just saying that I kept looking at Rita. I went, I chose to have 1 week that nothing would dominate us, and sure enough, we'd be in the middle of to go here, and something would happen to take us over there. And finally, I just gave up and just surrendered and said, this is wonderful. And what I really saw about this idea of, I think we want a worry-free world. It's like, I just want to wake up in the morning and somebody bring me their troubles, and I go, no problem. No problem. That's called disembodied. And so that isn't how it, but we also don't have to become addicted to these things as well. So I was thinking to myself, worry is optional because it really doesn't exist unless we give it the power. Worry is an option, whether or not you want to believe it or not, or I want to believe it. Now, concern and taking care of what's in front of me, yeah, there you go. But for me to worry, because I was taught worry, I've said it several times. My mom said, if I don't worry, you kids wouldn't have what you have today if I didn't worry all the time. Oh, thank you, because I feel peace. I feel a sense of alignment right now with all of that. So then I get to go, Mom worried her whole life so I could be born and I could be here. But there's more to it than that. Worry, and I've done my share. This little boy laid in that bed night after night. Worry, worry, worry. And I called it praying. And it's a waste of time. It drains me. It never has ever served me. That was my big aha this week. All the worries that I've ever done thinking that they were going to be the thing that fixed it, never did. Taking the action behind the concern, there's something that needs to be taken care of. Let's love our way through this. This is an interesting time of the year, and I was laughing because Jeremy and Amy are going, I'm bringing gratitude in for Gratitude Weekend. I'm like, Christmas! And it's like, oh my God, I completely bypassed a little bit because I was cross-decorating all week, you guys. I'll let you know, that's not cross-dressing. That's cross... Yes, I was cross-dressing all week, and I looked fabulous. But here's the thing. Cross-decorating is when I was told you cannot even touch an ornament or anything till the day after Christmas. Like our neighbors were all cross-decorating. Lights were out, and I was like, oh, it's the 20th. I wonder how they were raised, because I don't judge. And so then they're across the street. They've got icicles hanging down, and I'm like, two can play that game. And I got all competitive. I was like, pulling out stuff. Come on, I can do this too. But what I realized is that might be overcompensating. But boy, did my inner child have some fun. I got more trees going. We got 3 here, 1 at home, and live, 1 in our bedroom. Oh, holy night. Oh my God, that was a thought that turned out words. So all kidding aside, Stop. See, that's all that will be said. They'll say, how was Patrick's talk? It'll only be, I don't remember, but I remember, oh, holy night. Okay.
You gonna sing it?
The only time life is hard is when we separate from the source. I have to get you out of that oh holy night thing for a second. It's the truth though. It's the truth. The only time life has ever been not easy for me is when I have unplugged from source. And said, I got it. I got it. And then when I get really desperate, I'll give you a call, oh sweet spirit. So I have a little story to tell that Yana doesn't even know, because I woke up this morning and this whole metaphor started coming through to me, and I want to share it with you about these trees. So what happened was we came in, and I'm going to tell you right now a whole lesson in metaphysics, and you'll know everything about science of mind through this tree. This is the only tree we've ever used here, and it's always there, and change. They just thought it'd be fabulous to have it up here, but I don't mind. I'm going with it. But so here, and then Melissa, hi Melissa, she's watching, brought in these other two trees. So I came early before the elves got here, because I was living in the 3D world knowing that usually this is how this tree thing works. Sunday after, could you put the tree up? Thanks, make it all happen and I'll be back. Because I had a fear, because sometimes it doesn't light. Because you got to put all those, the one we have at the house, bump, lit. That's the easy street. So there's a whole bunch of connectors here. So they come in, I'm in the darkness, I'm thinking, Melissa. Melissa's here, Yana's here. Can you guys make that happen? And they're not really technical. Oh, God, no. Don't say that, because I'm not, and then you're not, and what are we going to do? And this is what I want to tell you about science of mind and deliberate intention. Yana says to me, kind of science of mind to me, without doing it, she did it with a smile. I was like, oh my God, this happens to me every year that I cannot connect this to get the lights going. And then, but I know what I'm doing, so I go self-prophecy. So I'm setting that all up, the world of conditions, and we put it in and it doesn't light. So therefore I have fulfilled my prophecy. Thank you very much. I'm here all week. So Yana says, it doesn't really matter. It's going to light. But she said it with just, it's going to light, matter of fact. So then we started putting on these red lights because it never lit. So we said, what are you going to do? Go to the next one. My thing was call Rita. And so we did it. So what was beautiful, and I said, this is like source. You're looking all over for the connect, and I'm like, sweating and cutting my hand. How do you cut your hand on a fake tree is all I want to know. Okay, so we're in this thing, and Yana says, there's not a connection. There's one that's not connected. And immediately I'm thinking, talk. This is great. That's how it is with us when we're not connected to our source. The whole thing's all connected, and we did all the work, but you forgot the little plug-in. So she goes, look, there's that on. I said, oh, and then she flips it, and no lights. So, doubt comes in. We were almost there. And then she said, but I've got another idea about source. Melissa, there's another plug-in that Patrick can't seem to connect it hard. Something's wrong with that. So Melissa goes, as a good student of science of mind. She walks over. Oh, this one? Yeah, I think it's not really going. Lights. So our two elves made it work, while I, on the other hand, had to keep reminding myself of who I am. I'm not afraid to out myself on that. Here's another one. This one here, she opens up a box she hasn't opened up in quite a few years, I was told. And she opens it up and she goes, here we go. And she takes it out. And each one is individual. So picture this look. And I go, and I said, because I'm a loving minister, I said, what the hell's that? And she goes, it's the tree, but why is it in separate pieces? I don't understand. And the whole thing was separate pieces. And so she had her little mission. And then because I don't know, I have a decorating gene that's in my body that I may not be able to do it, but I have to see it the way I want to see it, you know? So she's putting it together, and I'm with Yana as we're decorating. And I go, Melissa, a little Charlie Brown happening here, a Charlie Brown Christmas tree. And she was like, oh, you think so? So the next thing I know, she lit up, and all of a sudden, she puts this tree together, and this is what it looks like. And this is what it looks like. What's the point? Oh, it sounded like I was going to get like a Christmas song happening right there. And they're doing, no, so my point is, this is the source. Thank you, Yana. You were a constant reminder. She never let up throughout. We left it alone. We went to the other ones, and she kept saying, no, that's going to work. It's going to work. And that is what we have to do with our lives. No matter how much we have to modify them, no matter how much they are thrown all over, we have to keep saying, it will light. This life lights. It is born from light. It is light. And it will come, and it doesn't matter how many people have to come to this tree will be lit. It has to be. That's this magic of the normal of life. Because it's normal. Ernest Holmes says this, it is not always easy to turn from fear, from poverty and pain. Would you agree? And from hurt of human existence to that which is perfect. To that which is perfect. But whoever can do this and will train themselves to do this, let me repeat, it takes training, my friends. You just don't wake up in the morning and say, oh, I'm fully orbed and I've connected not only to the fifth, but the 10th dimension, and now I can deal with all you people that aren't really connected here on the earth. And now I can do that. It doesn't work that way. It takes training. We have to say, I don't care what it looks like. I have a power that has created everything. I am the light of the world. I am audacious enough to say that I am this power. I am this power. And sometimes you have to say, I am this power over and over and over and over again until you get so tired of arguing for the limitation that you just go, I don't really care, just light. I don't care what it is, I don't care. Just light, and then all of a sudden, poof, bing. So he goes on to say, but whoever can do this and will train themselves to do this will be like the man who healed himself of blindness. He had little comprehension. God, I'm good. You know, sometimes, I'm going to tell you something, that was spontaneous. You know, oh, I'm sorry. Will be like the man who, all of you online, I bet you're saying lots of things where you are right now. We're never going to get through this, but whoever can do this and will train themselves to do this will be like the man who healed himself of blindness. He had little comprehension of how it had been done. That's what we all think we have to know, don't we? I won't heal until I know exactly how that healing is going to take place. Oh, Lord. Lord, whereas I was blind, all he says is, whereas I was blind, I can now see. I can now see. So my question for all of us, oh, Patrick. All I'm going to say is, where are we blind in our lives? That's what I'm going to leave us with, just that we can search this week. Where have I blinded myself? Where have I thought that these eyes, with or without these, is what is really being seen? instead of the mind's eye that sees the truth. I heard a beautiful thing about truth today because everybody's saying my truth, my truth. And they said, we are disguising truth these days as opinions. You think your opinion is truth. And all it is an opinion. But there is a wonderful truth that cannot be denied. And that's we're here. We're breathing. There are no strings making us puppets. I know we want to think that we're being used as puppets. That's impossible. Because the very thing that created me and created each and every one of us is free. We always have been free and we always will be free. Our life was meant, as Rita was saying, to be easy. Easy street. Are you willing to embrace that, at least a little bit of it? Until, even when something comes in and says, that ain't easy. No. This happens every year. How do you connect? No. All it takes is one person to say, it's going to light. It's going to light. And usually that's my job, but I was willing to give that over to you, Yana. But, so I'll leave you with this wonderful Ernest Holmes. It is easy to believe that God is perfect, but we must believe that man is perfect. I'm going to say it again. Because this is what we do on Sundays, this is what we do in class, this is what we do in teaching, this is what we do in our lives, or at least this is my goal. Because I wake up and I'm thinking there's this beautiful power, the one that whispers, as that song said, whispers in my ear, you're on easy street, man. Who knew Spirit spoke in slang? It says easy. It is easy to believe that God is perfect. But we must believe that man is perfect. So until we can look at one another with absolute and from perfection, we'll just keep looking at man without perfection. Because the moment you see your brothers and sisters, no matter what you think they've done, no matter how miserable you think they've made your life, and when you can go past that and you can say, look at you. Wow, I see you. With my eyes closed, I see you. With my eyes closed, I see you. With my heart open, I love you. And in this moment, I am so blessed to be present in front of such absolute majestic beings, light beings, that have come here to just simply remember who and what we are. God. And if that's too much to say, I am God, I completely understand. But I don't believe it. I am the majesty. I am royalty. I am God in action. I am love personified. It's my inheritance. It's who I am, and I know it's who you are. Namaste. Oh, holy night.
No. Don't go away. Go ahead, Jonathan. We have a little surprise for you.
We do indeed.
When I'm worried and I can't sleep, I count my blessings instead of sheep, and I fall asleep counting my blessings.
when my bankroll is feeling small, I think of when I had none at all, and I fall asleep counting my blessings.
I think about a nursery and I picture curly heads like Ruth. And one by one I count them as they slumber in their beds. If you're worried and you can sleep, just count your blessings instead of sheep, and you'll fall asleep counting your blessings. What are you grateful for?
I am grateful for each and every one of us that have come here and everyone online. I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to swim with you in this incredible sea of receptivity. How about you, Rita?
I'm just grateful to be here and to be experiencing life. I am. So let's just take a deep breath, go within, and just center in our heart and think of our blessings, think of what we're grateful for, just for a moment. It's a beautiful, beautiful energy. I think about a nursery and I picture curly heads like lawyers. And one by one I count them as they slumber in their beds. You're our nursery. If you're worried, sing with us, and you can't sleep, just count your blessings instead of sheep, and you'll fall asleep counting your blessings.
Happy holidays, everyone.
That was a little taste of our concert coming up.
Yes.
So as we count our blessings, we want to thank you for the blessings that you donate here and help this ministry to move forward into the world every single solitary day. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so our Malama team, are you here? Yes, you're
Yes,
here.
they are.
And
They're
we have a
ready
beautiful
for rock and
song
roll.
called Abundance, I think. Is that it? Yes? Unless you chose another one.
Abundance, living
Life in the abundance, so much love in abundance.
sweet sensations of a new day.
Abundance,
Feeling myself in
the abundance,
giving thanks for this
abundance,
calling in the blessings of a new day rising.
abundance,
Giving thanks for this
abundance,
so much good love in abundance. Sweet sensations of a new day rising. Abundance, I feel myself in this abundance. Giving thanks for this abundance. Calling in the blessings of a new day rising.
Thank you. Oh, thank you, Gadar. All right.
This is an abundant universe in which we live and move and have our being.
And that divine spirit, the divine energy of God is that givingness of life. And so as these gifts come forward, they come from that place of abundance where we generate that energy within our own experience. And we know that these gifts go forward into that wonderful three-dimensional world to do great good. And so with love and gratitude, we give thanks as we join together and say, and so it is.
So it is. Thank you, Dr. Peggy. Who's taking this today? Don't tell me.
I cannot believe Reverend Sue.
She wasn't prepared to.
Charles. Too.
Charles is here.
Do I hear Charles? Do I hear?
Somebody needs to go with him, though.
Who does?
Someone.
Sue.
He can't do it by himself.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
I was
Sue.
so excited about everything this week that
All right. So I know our
I have
children.
a feeling I'm going to be getting a new job now.
Yeah. I know that our children. Oh, here they are. Let's have our
There you
children
go.
come on
Children, please distract.
up. We have two beautiful children today.
We do.
Our regular Beckham
Hey, Beckham.
and where's the microphone? Can you pass it to Janice? And Arya.
He spoke last week. Yes.
Good morning, everybody. We had fun upstairs. We read a fun book called What If You Had Animal Feet? And we made a foot book. And we're really thankful for our own feet. And I think they want to share a little bit of it. Let me hold it for you.
We cut out our feet and we drawed them and then we colored them and then we made them into a book.
Wow.
Talking about feet, I love your shoes, Beckham. They're cool.
I'm gonna read my my little foot book.
Okay.
I am grateful for being able to walk. I can run. I can swim. I can skip. My feet are strong. If I did not have feet, I would fall down.
Oh. That's great. And you know, kids, in our philosophy, we call it treat and move your feet.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Hello.
Thank you. Let's. Yes, yes,
Wow,
yes.
I thought
All right.
that was very clever.
Let's give
How
them
you
their
do-
beautiful
You
blessing.
ready?
You ready? You
You
are
are
amazing. You
You
are
are
perfect.
You
You are magnificent, and we love you. Woohoo!
Look at them just taking it in. That's beautiful.
Thank you, kids. Thank you, Miss Janice. We appreciate it. All right. So, as far as affirmative prayer, there's always practitioners available. The treatment box in the back, if you have something that you want treatment for us to know the truth, our practitioners are happy to do that. So,
And those
they're-
online,
yes.
it's the number's up there, right, Rob? 755-9177-808.
Right. And so as far as our announcements, Reverend Diane's going to come up and give our first announcement.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Tomorrow evening, we're scheduled to meet right here from 6 to 8 p.m. and share gratitude with each other, dancing with gratitude. We will explore living in the flow of gratitude through movement, through meditation, through discussion, through conversation. I hope you'll join us as we just wrap up this month of being in gratitude with embodiment of it. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Please sign up today. Thank you.
Yes, and that being said, the workshop is still in, it might not go if we don't get the signups today because we don't have enough signups to justify it going forward. So if you do sign up and then we decide it's not going to go forward, you will receive a complete, full, immediate refund. But you have to sign up today so we know whether we can do it tomorrow night. All right? And that's what I wanted to say about that. And then, Dr. Peggy, you have a workshop.
And for those online, it's being filmed. So
yeah, it's being filmed.
So you can, join in that way as well.
Yes, starting Tuesday morning, again, given that we have enough people to go forward, we are going to be doing a 4-week workshop. And this idea came to me recently when I was hearing a very inspiring speech about coming together. And the words came into my mind immediately of forgiveness, reconciliation, and peace. And with those 3 words, it's really a pathway to what we were talking about this morning, Easy Street. And I know that perhaps, at least in my life and maybe in your life too, over the last few years, there might have been some division in your family or in your friends. There might have been some conflict that has caused you to have some feelings come up. And so this is about our own inner work. It's not about anybody else. It's about our work. And the first week will be about self-forgiveness, the next about forgiveness of others, then the concept of reconciliation, and of course, leading to peace within. So, and just in time for peace on earth and goodwill to all. So if you're interested, it starts Tuesday morning. It's on Zoom, and it is a class where it's preferable that you come for the whole 4 sessions, and it's not a drop-in class because we're going to be building some confidentiality and trust. It will be on Zoom, but it will not be recorded because of the confidentiality. So I'm very interested in seeing who might like to come to that on Tuesday. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bennett. And the same thing for that. The sign-up has to be today. So for those of you online, there is a sign-up button on the webpage. So, and then we will let you know whether we're going to proceed forward. So that's really all you need to know about, besides to mark your calendar for the concert next weekend.
Next Saturday.
Next Saturday at
here.
2 p.m. It will be streamed live at 2 p.m. and it will also be recorded. So come enjoy the holidays with us.
Yes.
And that's all I have to say. Do you have anything else?
Who
No?
was at movie night on Friday?
Yeah,
Did
we
you like
want
the
to
movie?
thank Robin.
Yeah.
Thank
you, Rob.
Rob and Roseanne.
And
Thank
Roseanne
you, and
Ron
Ron for doing that. All right. I think we're ready, finally, to close out. All right. And I am treating out. Okay. So give me a space. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. It's okay. I'll be quick, too.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. And no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer,
Come on, everybody.
but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will be as one.
So I just want to give gratitude for this new world right here, right now in this present moment. I give gratitude for this time together and for everyone that made it possible. For our Malama team, Yana and Desiree. For Dr. Peggy for her beautiful, amazing treatment, as she always is. Such a great consciousness here. To Roseanne in the bookstore and also helping Rob. To Rob Jones, who takes our word out into the world through live streaming. For Jonathan, for his stalwart and consistency in being our sound engineer. To Ron Stover for all that he does for us. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And for Jeremy and Amy for being with us today. Mahalo. So beautiful, for all your beautiful, amazing music. And to everyone for being here today and everyone online, thank you, thank you. I am so grateful, and I take this gratitude now and I just infuse it with love and just send us all off to live our lives fully, beautifully on Easy Street. I know that's the truth, and I know it's for all of us, no exceptions, as I just affirm it with, and so it is.
Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the fun. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will be as one. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us in the world when it is
Thank you. And thank you everyone for respecting our masks today and also for leaving